Hello, Nick here from On Purpose. We've broken creating a purpose-led culture into 3 steps. And the first step is mindset. And that's making sure that we get your organisation thinking in the right way before we even get to the point of considering writing or creating a purpose statement and then actually executing the organisation or aligning that organisation to that purpose. So the key for us in mindset, we break it into 2 components. The first is about possibilities, and secondly, it's about trust. So let's talk about the first topic, possibilities. You know, in a lot of organisations today, we seem to be focused with compliance and everything else on managing risk and being very risk averse about everything we do. But we miss that opportunity of actually looking at what are the opportunities in front of us. And it's been greatly demonstrated by the work of Ben Zander. He tells a story about 2 salesmen who were sent to Africa in the 1930s to see if there's any opportunities to sell shoes. They were from Manchester, and they wrote telegrams back to Manchester, and the first one wrote, "Situation hopeless, stop, they don't wear shoes." And the other one wrote, "Glorious opportunity, they don't have any shoes yet." Now those 2 telegrams come from very different worlds. One's a world of possibilities, it's a great opportunity, and one's the standard downward spiral we see in a lot of organisations, which is the situation is hopeless. Now can you imagine the difference in those organisations with what they're going to do with that information? One organisation is given up on selling shoes in Africa, and the other is now actually on the journey to creating or working out how to solve giving shoes to Africans. And you know, it'll be funny in 10 years time, I imagine that company said, "God, we looked at that and we couldn't see it working. Look at these guys, they seem to have made it work." And that's the power of possibilities. So we need to ensure possibilities lives within your organisation. And we've got lots of tools to help us to do that. And we start really with the leadership team because it's by example that needs to happen. So then let's talk about the second component of that, which is trust. Trust is the glue of any relationship, as you know in your own personal life. So it makes sense that we really bring trust into the centre of your organisation and make it part of the DNA. I was introduced to a fantastic equation called the trust equation a number of years ago. And I remember thinking, it's amazing to think, or there's no way you could break trust down into a mathematical equation, that's just silly. I was so surprised and impressed by the equation because it did a couple of things. Firstly, it shows you or lets you understand the topics or the components which make up trustworthiness, which is really powerful. But second, it also gets you to think differently around trust, and especially when you're trying to build trusting relationships with people. I'll put a link below this video to the trust equation, and please go and have a look and read up, but it's a really powerful equation, and making sure people in your organisation understand it will really help them to build better trusting relationships. And that won't just be within your organisation, it will be externally as well. And that's really where the power is. When you're making trusting relationships with your customers, there's an amazing power that you achieve from that, which will differentiate you from your competitors in so many ways. And you'll find that in the trust equation there's a component called self-orientation, and it's all about how much of a relationship is about what you want versus what somebody else wants, or how well aligned are your agendas. And I know when I was working in a great purpose-led organisation, one of the things we did is we made sure everything we did, we understood the agenda of the stakeholder or the other people that were involved, and we made sure we aligned. And that's how we built, phenomenal relationships, which are still talked about today. So that's the 2 components which make up mindset, and On Purpose we've got some great ways to help you to introduce those topics into your organisation and really make them live. And that gets us in a really good space to then talk about purpose. So come on the journey with us and let's all achieve a dream and not just a number.